Hey, not bad.
What?
Amen.
Awesome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syahmi bin Muhammad Salasmi. Number metric 20210392.
Hi, my name Muhammad Najimuddin bin Muhammad Razi. My metric number 2021045.
Hello, my name is Nur Afizi bin Muhammad Yazid. My number metric 20210401.
Hello, my name is Luqman Nur Hakim bin Hairul Nizam. My matrix number is 20210439.
Today, our group want to analyze the social network as a visual case study, which will enable us to conduct research and demonstrate our ability to correlate organizational behavior, relate course content to the visual case. Did you know about film The Social Network? The plot in this film is a little complicated. Perhaps you will be puzzled if you are watching it for the first time, since the storyline is a combination of current tense and past. What began as a small side among friends in his dorm room quickly grew into a global social network and a revolution in communication, thanks to the range of blogging and programming. Mark Zuckerberg is the youngest millionaire in history, having amassed 500 million fans in just 6 years. However, success comes with personal and legal ramifications for this entrepreneur. The social network character personality. Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg is a film protagonist. In this quest to make Facebook popular, he makes critical choices that involve that betrayal of friends and intellectual property theft. At the end of film, Mark has become the young billionaire in the world. However, he remains a solitary figure who longs for social acceptance. Eduardo Severin. Eduardo Severin is a fellow Harvard student and one of Mark's close friends. Mark goes to him with the idea for the Facebook, and Eduardo invests $1,000. He becomes CFO. At the end of the film, Mark agreed to undisclosed settlement, and Eduardo is restored to the masthead of the Facebook as a co-founder. Sean Parker. Sean Parker is brilliant but not longer successful founder of the file sharing website Napster. At the end of the film, Sean is caught doing party with undergrad Facebook intern. Cameron and Taylor Leibovitz. Cameron and Taylor are identical twin athletes who competitively row for Harvard. However, they eventually sue Mark and are given a $65 million settlement.
Deva Narendra. Deva is a friend and business partner of the Wingders twin. He is one of the founder the HarvardConnection.com, a dating website that Mark was supposed to build. Erica Albright. Erica Albright is Mark's girlfriend at the beginning of the film. She breaks up with him after he injures her by saying that she will get to meet people she wouldn't otherwise mix with if he gets into a fighter club. Erika tells him he will become a successful computer person, but that everyone will hate him because he an Asian. At the end of the film, Mark sent her Facebook friend request. Larry Summers. Larry Summers is the president of Harvard University. When the Winklev twins go to Summers to complain about Mark stealing their idea, Summers is completely unwilling to get involved in the dispute. Rather than help, he tells the twins to come up with another idea. Marilyn Delphi. Marilyn Delphi is one of the junior lawyers working for Mark. She speaks to Mark several times during research in his deposition. At the end of the film, she tells him that it will be easier for him to pay out the people suing him rather than go to trial. She also tells him that he isn't an asshole. He's just trying hard to be one. Christy. Christy is Eduardo Severino's girlfriend. She meets Eduardo and Mark during a lecture given by Bill Gates. She impressed Eduardo when she asked him to Facebook her later to set up a time to get together. Later in the film, she becomes intensely suspicious of Eduardo, who seemed afraid of volatile emotional state. The couple break up when she set fire to a scarf he brought her from New York. Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is a billionaire co-founder of PayPal. In the film, Thiel agrees to give the fledgling Facebook $500 million in startup cash as an angel investor, who will have a 7% stake in the company. He also instigates relegating the company to Delaware for tax reasons. Plot. The first plot is every age has its prisoner who live in the wake of their genius, a changed world, but rarely without a battle over actually what happened and who was there at the moment of creation. On a fall night in 2003, Harvard undergrad and computer programming genius Mark Zuckerberg sits down at his computer. Hadley begins working on a new idea. In a fury blogging and programming, what began in his dorm room soon becomes a global social network and revolution in communication. The challenge in this leadership are he have to keep with competition and meet the exploitation of other stakeholders. Leadership. The first leadership is the kind of leadership style that's on Mark Zuckerberg is authoritarian. In this film, the social network, Mark Zuckerberg as Facebook's sole decision maker makes a resolution that he believes will be benefit the company. The challenge in Mark Zuckerberg's leadership is that employees at the company may begin to feel dissatisfied with the way he leads when the boss don't allow view from his team member.
Teamwork and group behavior. They execute a project team to contribute to the overall objective of the project. The whole team is able to do their job well because they understand the scope of their respective tasks. Diversity and discrimination. In 2003, Harvard undergrad and computer genius Mark Zuckerberg, Jesse Eisenberg, begins work on a new concept that eventually turns into the global social network known as Facebook. 6 years later, he is one of the youngest billionaires ever, but Zuckerberg finds that his unprecedented success leads to both personal and legal complications when he ends up on the receiving end of 2 lawsuits, one involving his former friend, Andrew Garfield. For the decision making. In this film, Mark Zuckerberg used conceptual style decision making. This is due to him being creative and always thinking about the future. For example, he added relationship status and interested in the Facebook future. And the personality. Number 1, friendship. Despite Mark's introversion, Eduardo was Mark's only closet friend. In a way, both parties valued their friendship. Eduardo showed Mark concern and was quick to provide comfort by providing him with the needed algorithm when he found out that the couple had broken up. Their friendship ran so deep that Eduardo willingly invested money into Mark's ambitious idea of creating Facebook despite its uncertain future.
Mark! He's wired in. Sorry? He's wired in. Is he? Yes. How about now? You're still wired in? You issued 24 million new shares of stock.
You were told that if new investors
How
came
much were
along,
your shares diluted? How much were his?
you signed the papers.
You sent me.
You're gonna blame me because you were the business head of the company and you made a bad business deal with your own company?
It's gonna be like I'm not a part of Facebook.
It won't be like you're not a part of Facebook. You're not a part of Facebook.
My name's on the masthead.
You might want to check again.
It's because I froze the account.
You think we were gonna let you parade around in your ridiculous suits pretending you were running the company?
Sorry! My bras at the cleaners! Along with my hoodie and my fuck you flip-flops! You pretentious douchebag!
Security's here. You'll be leaving now.
I'm not signing those papers.
We will get the signature.
Tell me this isn't about me getting into the Phoenix. You did it. I knew you did it. You planted that story about the chicken.
Not the story about it.
Number 2, betrayal. Not only were Mark and Eduardo friends, that were business partners too. As business partners, the norm is for both parties to confide in each other before deciding. Eduardo could have felt slightly betrayed when he was left out of the loop in the decision making. However, Mark's biggest act of betrayal was to dilute Eduardo's ownership share to 0.03%, while the shares of other investors remain untouched.
It wasn't.
What was Peter Thiel's ownership share diluted down to?
It wasn't.
And what was your ownership share diluted down to?
0.03%.
It was evident that Eduardo felt betrayed by Mark's actions through the sadness and disappointment apparent in his voice when he said, "I was your only friend."
I was your only friend. Yeah, one friend.
Motivation. Number 1, contributions that business can make. Facebook's popularity is not because of Mark Zuckerberg's prowess in programming, but the value that the program provides to its users. And number 2, focus. One thing to learn from Mark Zuckerberg's biography is how he focused on shaping Facebook. If you have an idea, then focus on one thing and then move on to another. Number 3, business is not about who the initiator is, but who can implement it. There was never an original idea of having the courage to do it. Example, Aaron Sorkin, author of The Social Network, said no one knows what happened to Zuckerberg, Winklevi and Severin, but everyone knows that the existence of Facebook is because of Mark Zuckerberg.
Communication. There are 4 interpersonal qualities mentioned in the film The Social Network: confidence, learning capacity, flexibility, and network. Mark Winklevoss, who is not scared to lose to his opponent Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, demonstrated his confidence by always coming up with fresh ideas to revitalize Facebook. Furthermore, there are numerous parts of learning capacity in this film where Mark is adept in coding. Mark's versatility in coping with new situations is also noteworthy. Finally, on the point of collaboration, Mark and his good buddy Edward discuss the benefit of going through the Facebook renewal process together. In this film, the channel of choice is Facebook. Next, power and politics. Concept power is when a person has the ability to influence others through the ability to punish those who do not fall in line. Mark Zuckerberg displayed this type of power because he ended up being the head of the Facebook company. He punish Edward because he think he has the power. And number 2, he gained power, which is that his behavior is highly influenced the ones officially positioned. Mark Zuckerberg seemed to treat everyone below him as if they are less important or do not contribute to the company. Since he is the CEO of his company, he reminds his employees to stay focused on their job and not the payout. And the last, organization structure. The film organization culture is an assumption that differs from the person to person. In the long term, this makes people unwilling to work and address difficulties. None that each future employee in a company follow. As a result, being in a different posture, intolerant to each other. Attitudes are also a part of social culture and evidenced by the fact that positions are not equal, that people in power do not want to hurt subordinates too.